Hello, New Rochelle. This is Superintendent Jonathan Raymond, and welcome to another edition of What Matters Most. We are here taping at Trinity Elementary School, where
everything you do matters.
That's my special guest. We'll get to my special guest first. We have some good news. We'd like to congratulate our students district-wide on graduating. We wish all of our students nothing but the best as they move on, either to the next grade or to the next chapter. Have a great summer. We'd also like to congratulate our staff members that are retiring this year. Enjoy a restful, happy, and healthy retirement, and we can't thank you enough for your years of loyal service to the district. Over 900 collective years. Wow. We're proud to announce that high school clarinet player Junior Cecilia Delgadeo has been accepted into the prestigious Juilliard School of Music program. Maybe one day we'll see her on Broadway. And now for some fun facts. Did you know that the Sahara Desert can reach up to 136 degrees? Its average temperature is about 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Wow, that's hot. Did you know that the United States experiences approximately 100,000 thunderstorms in a year, mostly in the summertime? And finally, did you know that an 11-year-old invented popsicles? And that happened in 1905. Make sure you bring those when you go to the Sahara Desert. And now to my special guest, Trinity Elementary School Principal Michael Hilderbrand. Hello, Michael.
Hello, hello.
It's so great to be here with you today.
It's great to have you here.
Yeah, congratulations on another great, successful year. You had your graduation last week.
We did.
Amazing.
It was incredible.
Amazing. Your scholars just shined.
They really did. It was a beautiful celebration of a challenging year, but there was a lot of success.
Yeah, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that because I know you're very intentional about building community. So can you talk a little bit about what it means to build community and how you specifically went about it this year?
Absolutely. I think the last 2 years have taught us so much, and we've all been through so much. And what we've been through, we lost a lot of the human connection that we're used to having, that I think we sort of took for granted for a long time. And being a member of Trinity Elementary School, it's such a community school that prior to the pandemic, it was difficult to tell who was a paid staff member and who was a PTA member, who was a volunteer, who was a mystery reader, because the community is so heavily invested in what goes on inside of the school. And so after 2 years of a pandemic, there was such a gap between what's good, the magic inside and the magic that is happening outside. So this year, we sought out every possible opportunity to have members of the community, be it immediate family members, community members, physically come into the building and being part of the experiences that students are having here.
I know. I think, prior to the pandemic, I think we took being inside of school really for granted, didn't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You did one thing really intentional this year toward the end of the school year where you had a parade with the students. Can you talk a little bit about that and share that with our listeners?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll back up just a little bit because it even started initially in the fall when we did balloons over Trinity. Right. And so that started because after being 2 years virtual, 18 months virtual, our students, we have a marching band and we have an orchestra, but we weren't prepared like we typically are for the New Rochelle Thanksgiving parade that normally is a beautiful celebration where Trinity gets to shine. So as a result of that, we created a Balloons Over Trinity, and it was really a math experience for our students to build the landscapes at multiple grade levels to create the backdrop, and our younger scholars building through STEAM lessons balloons that they could parade through, and that was in the fall. Then we went to the next level and were able to do K through 5, a character parade. And so it really took the place of Read Across America, again, where we typically would have members of the community come in. When we were planning this, we still weren't able to have members of the community in. So we just allowed our scholars to really dive into literature, and our our first and second graders were able to create become their characters, their favorite characters in literature. And then our kindergartners and our fourth and fifth graders were able to create the backdrop from their favorite book. So everyone was able to participate. Our first and second graders marched, and our kindergarten, our third, fourth, and fifth graders were also able to participate, just a different role.
Right.
It was a beautiful celebration of literature.
Now, speaking of literature, right outside of your office is something really special that arrived this year. Can you talk about that and how that, again, reinforces what you were just talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. Our PTA is so incredibly special as well. We get so much from our PTA, and one of our co-presidents had the idea of having a book vending machine for the school, and it's something that I had never even heard of before and wasn't even sure exactly how it would be received by our scholars. But they had shared it with myself and my leadership team. We all loved the idea of it, but we weren't really sure where it was going to land. So what we have is a book vending machine, and in that book vending machine, it's multiple layers of books and levels of books that any type of student can find their favorite book in the vending machine. And so we have been utilizing this as part of our PBIS system to reinforce when scholars demonstrate that they're ready, responsible, and respectful. And when they demonstrate this, they earn paws, and then they can earn a book if they're the paw winner for the week. What we also did was, through the help of Arts Excel and our PTA, we had Theater Works come in and do performances. It was as if Broadway was physically here in the building. And our scholars got to see Charlotte's Web, Dogman, and Pete the Cat. And so when you go to the book vending machine, you'll see all of those books are there. So when our students got to see the performance in the auditorium and then come out and see the actual book in the vending machine, again, their learning came to life, and it's been such an incredible experience.
Amazing. If I was a student at Trinity, I wouldn't want to take the summer off.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd want to be right back.
I
there.
agree.
Right?
I agree.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about, you're very intentional, that building community in the morning, that morning drop-off. And you told me something once about, what it is, and part of it is, it's Michael being Michael, but of course it's also it's letting the community know, and share what you want, what you shared with me once.
Yeah, absolutely. I think again, being a community school especially, it's so important that there is communication that's going two ways. It's not just transactional, it's got to be transformational and really, really, really intentional. And so what we do at Trinity, again, being a neighborhood school and the way that we function, the majority of our students walk to school. So we don't have a lot of buses. We do have some, but not a lot. And we wanted to make sure that every single scholar, but also community member, knew that children are welcomed and they're safe here every single day. So literally every day, we're outside in front of this building. We have music that's blasting. My voice sounds like this because we are celebrating kids coming to school. And so it's really a bit of a selfish piece for me as well, because it gives me and my team an opportunity to really take the temperature for children when they're walking in, where they're at emotionally. If there's any challenges that are going on outside of school, we get an opportunity to see that firsthand and support it, but then also with families. The amount of moms and dads and grandmas and cousins that we're able to connect with literally before the school day starts is so incredibly impactful for how we're able to support every single student on any given day.
Yeah, I love how you and your team, you're so intentional about everything you do.
Yeah.
It doesn't always appear that way.
Yes.
But you know that everything you're doing.
Yeah, I think, and so often there might be sound bites or video clips that look just like a party, and it's just a celebration, but it's so much more than that. I think that the community needs to know that kids are safe here. And how can they know that unless they have some sense, well, who's the person in charge there? Well, if you live within 3 miles of here, you know who is in charge here. And it's all of the adults that are part of this school really setting the tone. And that happens every single day. And that's emotionally, but also physically. As a school district, in these times, in I would say the past 10 years, school safety has risen to the absolute paramount position in terms of priorities. And so I believe that I physically, as a school principal, I need to be outside. I need to be able to ensure that kids are safe as they're crossing the street coming into the building, but also once they are in the building, that we maintain that level of safety.
I think that's it. You've made such a great point, right? As the adults, we create the conditions
100%.
for children to feel safe and then to be able to thrive. And
Absolutely.
I think the greatest safety we can do around a school is the intense, focused, engaged learning that takes place
100%. And so often, I mean, there will be times where parents or grandparents or family members will want to speak to me in the morning. And, I have my first responsibility is getting children safely in the building. So I will always ask parents to just wait by the front door a little bit. Once I get everyone in safely, then I will stand outside for 2 hours and speak to parents and answer any questions or respond to any concerns or just give information about the great things that are happening here within the school.
I always say that you and your fellow colleagues who run our school buildings have the hardest job. I can at least go back to the district offices and close my door, but you folks never. Your offices don't see you till late in the day.
Yeah, and I would say respectfully, we've got the most rewarding job. And I apologize that you go back to City Hall because being in where the magic happens, to me, is by far the most rewarding. It is by far the most rewarding. So I don't just talk about it, I get to go and see it and support the educators that are doing it every day, and also giving students the opportunity to see me, and see me and all of the other adults that are here celebrate their success.
Yeah, well, I'll let you in on a little secret. I don't spend a whole lot of time in City Hall.
I've noticed. I have noticed. Indeed.
Final thing, and I won't even get to your Superman socks that I see you're wearing today, because as we once said, right, superheroes.
Yes. Can I tell you a little bit about my socks, though?
Yes, please.
Because a lot of people don't know this, and so I've been in this district for 20 years, and my first 15 years I was at Nourishville High School. I was a plain sock guy at Nourishville High School for 15 straight years. Wow. I think every pair of socks was plain black or brown. That was as crazy as I ever got. When I came to Trinity Elementary School, and I experienced for the first time, specifically kindergartners, breaking away from their family for the first time, and I saw kids crying and not wanting to come into school. When you're at Nourishville High School, when you're at the secondary level, that doesn't happen. A student is not walking in and leaving their parent necessarily for the first time and coming in the building. And so after experiencing this at the start of my first year here, I had to come up with something to redirect that 5-year-old's focus and their energy. And so what I did was, very literally, was hike my socks over my pants and just started dancing. And that 5-year-old that was crying started laughing. So then it turned into a thing, because I have very few resources. When there's moving cars and kids walking across the street, I can't have a whole, a clown show going on. I just have to use the resources that I have. So it just simply started with hiking my socks over my pants, dancing, and now suddenly a crying child is like, who's this crazy silly guy that's dancing on the sidewalk? And then he or she felt more comfortable coming in. And then it has evolved into a whole thing with my socks. But it was all in response to a young scholar just feeling safe coming into school.
That's a Monsters, Inc. moment, right?
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
I love it. Last thing I want to just share with us, because again, we're here in studio, right? Everything you do matters, right?
Absolutely.
Our show's called What Matters Most. We gave you the opportunity to design the logo, for our show. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's so special. Another term that we use here at Trinity is scholars. But whether you're 4 years old or you're 55 years old, everyone here is a scholar. Everyone here is a student. Everyone here is learning.
That's why I come here to record.
Absolutely. And you are welcome here to be a scholar just like the rest of us. And so, but the way that manifests with different students, it's different. Some scholars really thrive in the arts. Some dive into math. Some dive into English. Some dive into second language acquisition. And my goal is to allow our scholars opportunities to see their success, not just within the context of their classroom, but outside of there. So thank you for giving us the opportunity to allow our scholars to see their success at a district level. And to see their artwork, it's not just special in their art class or in their classroom or at home on their refrigerator. It's now special throughout the entire district. So to see that as part of the logo here is so incredibly important. And to hear the kids talk about it when they're seeing it is incredibly special.
Well, coming surprise for your new fifth graders is next school year they're going to be helping to run the cameras here.
Hercules, Hercules, that is a dream come true.
So great to spend time with you, Michael.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really appreciate
you very much.
coming on the show. Have a great summer. Okay?
You as well. Thank you.
Recharge that voice. Right?
Yes, indeed.
And a couple new dance moves, maybe.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
All right. So there we go, New Rochelle. There's another edition of What Matters Most. Look forward to seeing you next time. Take care and have a great summer.
Searching